Welcome to my Mass Effect Trilogy characters ranking. I'm not including Mass Effect Andromeda because, first of all, the characters suck from that game, and I also don't remember enough of them to be able to make a tier list out of them, but I just recently played the trilogy, so it's fresh in my mind. Um, alright, let's just jump right into it. So, first of all, we have these Quarians who are part of the Quarian Council. I don't really remember them that well. All I know is that this chick is voiced by the same chick who played Morrigan in Dragon Age, so I feel like that instantly makes her, I feel like a C at the very least, whereas these ones are just, I really just didn't care about them. I mean, that storyline was cool, like that one mission in Mass Effect 2, I guess, but I mean, they really just didn't matter to me at all, to be honest. Admiral Hackett, I mean, he's just in every game. He's just a staple guy who gives you missions. He's not super interesting. He's really kind of basic. Um, I feel like the game wouldn't be the same without him, though. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give him a C, just simply because I feel like that's just the baseline. Once they're under C, it's sort of you're starting to not like those characters anymore. And I mean, I not that I didn't like these characters, but they just weren't that good. Next up we have I think this is like that counselor dude in Mass Effect 3. I don't remember his name. Um, look, I'll be honest, if I don't remember their name, I'm just gonna put them in D straight away, just because clearly they didn't have much impact on me. Um, we have Arya. I did actually really like her. Her DLC in the second game was actually pretty good. It was a little bit too linear for my taste, but I guess most of Mass Effect 2 was pretty linear. But um, she's still a great character overall, and she's in the third game as well, so I'm going to put her in a B. Commander Bailey. Um, I honestly didn't even notice this guy throughout all of the games. I know that he's like kind of important for some of the side missions, but I just didn't care. And he's so boring. I mean, he's kind of a nice guy in the games, and I do remember him, so I'm gonna just put him in C, but I just didn't care about him. Ashley, controversial topic. I know that it's either, on the side that you really, really like Ashley, or you really don't like Ashley. And I'm on the side of, I hate Ashley. I don't know. Well, first of all, I've only played this trilogy once, so I haven't seen much of Ashley in the third game. Apparently she's better. But in the first game, I just hated her. She was really xenophobic to all of the aliens on my crew, and I fucking love them, so I wanted to defend them. Um, she also tried to hit on me, and I accidentally had to like reject her, even though I just made no romantic advances whatsoever, which was a bit weird. And we just somehow ended up in a relationship. Luckily, she died, so that didn't happen. Because you can kill her, obviously. Um, all right, moving on. This is a Batarian. I have no idea who this is. I I'm I have no idea who this is. I also fucking hate the Batarians. They are hideous, so I'm putting him. You know what? Just because I don't know him doesn't mean he's deserved to be F. I'm just gonna put him in E. All right. Female Shepherd and male Shepherd. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I can't rank these because even though they are characters, they're not like they're just based on your decisions, right? So it's whoever you want to be. They're not really their own characters. Um, like especially so in Mass Effect. I feel like in Dragon Age, the character you're playing is more of their own person. But I don't know. Shepard doesn't really feel like that to me. I'm just gonna put them both in C tier, just because I don't know where else to put them. Just because that's pretty basic, pretty standard. Captain Anderson, he's great. I actually really like him. He has some funny moments. He has some great moments throughout the whole series. I'm gonna put him in B tier because I didn't say I really liked him, but he was a good addition. Um, his his ending in Mass Effect 3 was a bit weird. I don't know how I felt about that. It just kind of felt like he was there because he had to be for the sake of plot, but I don't know. I don't know. That whole thing with the elusive man at the end just sucked. Um, I don't remember his name, but this is the AI from the Mass Effect 2 DLC where he's like it was like an autistic guy who got merged with an AI, and it was basically like torture. It was a great DLC, by the way. It was really, really good. And it was really dark too. Holy shit! But that's what made it so good. I liked his story, even though it was a little bit short. I mean, I guess it was just a small DLC, but it was great. Um, I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him in B tier, but not really because of his character. It's more just so I'm just saying like how great that DLC was. But I mean, yeah, you kind of meet him in the third game again, and if you saved him, he's good and it's wholesome. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in B. Diana Allers, she's the reporter on the third game. Um, I think she's kind of just put in the game to be like romanceable if you want to, because she's like hot or whatever. But she also is like she has controversial views, and you can kick her off your ship if you don't actually like her around. Um, Personally, I thought in my playthrough I was like, oh yeah, no, it's nice to have a reporter on the board on the ship, especially since she is giving I would say non-biased opinions. Um, I didn't really like her as a character though, to be honest. So I'm gonna put her in D. Even though I did keep her around, I still didn't really like her that much, so I'm putting her in D. Um, I don't remember who this person is. I don't know. He looks pretty generic. I'm literally just gonna put him. I'm gonna come back to him, see if I can remember. Um, Dr. Shakwas. Actually, you know what? I really like Dr. Shakwas. I'm gonna put her in A because she's great. She's in every game, and she's just the best. And there's that scene where you have a drink together and you talk. Oh, it's just great. She's a great character, beautifully voiced as well. Um, this guy looks familiar, but for some reason, oh no no no, this is not who I'm thinking of. Um, I'm thinking, is this Ambassador Udina? It is, isn't it? He just looks slightly different. Because it's the third game, I guess. Alright, I'm just gonna assume that this is Udina. If that's the case, I hated him, but he was designed to be hated, so I guess that's a good thing. I'm just gonna put him C because I don't want to put him higher than that. Um, but also, I guess he was a good character to hate. And there was some good complications with his character, especially in that third game. It's really great. Edie. Um, I'm assuming this is Edie as her AI form and then her synthetic form. Um, I'm gonna rank them the same because for me they're the same person. Personally, I didn't like that they put her in like a sexy woman robot body. I know that they made some like self-aware jokes about it, and Jeff and Edie have a real, oh, sorry, Joker and Edie have a really good relationship, but I just didn't like that. But I'm still gonna put them both in A because I really like Edie. She's a great character. At first I was like a bit hesitant when she was introduced in the second game, but in the third game, oh, just she's great. Um, this is the female, I've forgotten her name, Eve, the female Krogan. She was cool. She wasn't in the game for very long, I guess, but um, she was cool. I'm gonna put her in C just because I didn't really care about her too much. Um, I have no idea who this person is, so I'm just gonna move on. Gareth. I mean, okay, Gareth is S tier. He is in all of the games. He's a companion in every game. He's great. He's funny. You have some amazing moments with him. I didn't romance him. I just was friends with him, and it was amazing. I love Gareth. He's definitely deserves to be an S tier, and I think anyone who's played these games will agree with that. Then we have Grunt. Grunt is also great. He's funny. I didn't like him as much as Rex, although his story was more interesting than Rex's in the first game, but that's because I guess they didn't really flesh out the characters too as much as they did in the second game. But Grunt was great. I'm gonna put Grunt in B tier. Um, I'm assuming this is. I don't know whether this is the Reapers in general or whether this is Leviathan from the first game. I'm just gonna assume it's um oh no, because that's Leviathan. No, no, sorry, no. I'm thinking about something else. Leviathan is the DLC. What was the fucking? Reaper from the first game called? I know the second one was called Harbinger. That's him. Damn, I don't remember. Um, I'm actually just gonna not rank the Reapers separately. I'm just gonna rate them, Jesus, as one thing. Just because I feel like they didn't really have any personality at all. Like I know they were these entities and they did talk to you, but just nah. I mean, they were a good like villain for the story. Like they were a good thing to be able to fight against, but as a character, not very good to be honest. So I'm just gonna put them in C tier, all of them, because I can see, including this one, even though it was like kind of like different because they were using the collectors. All right, moving on. I also have no clue who this person is, so please don't hate me. If I don't know these people and you're like, oh wow, that's my favorite character, I'm sorry. I just don't remember, even though I played this game like just under a week ago or a bit. Um, Let me have Jacob. Right. Okay, so I like Jacob. I actually like him more when you just have him as a friend. I'd never played the romance, but I actually watched it, and it sucks. Because basically he meets this girl in the third game, um, and if you're just friends, they get married. Well, they're not married; they have a kid, basically. Um, but yeah, and it's really wholesome for them. But if you romance him in the second game, then he still gets with that girl in the third game, and it's just kind of this awkward, like, oh well, I'm with her now. Sorry. Well, and that sucks to me, and like, it's so shitty. Like, I feel like that's, Jacob fans were just, undercut basically. And he's a good character though. I am gonna put him in B just simply because based off my experiences with him, I liked him. But yeah, his romance does suck. James Vega. I mean, he's hot. His romance, which is I don't even know if you can call it that. It's like you just like hook up with him in the Citadel party, and it's honestly really gross. It is super creepy. Female Shepherd comes off as just the worst. Like it is just so awkward to watch. I hate it. I hate that it's included in the game. Um, but I'm not going to let that affect my opinion of him as a character because he is a good character. Um, he does have his moments, even though he was sort of just introduced in the third game, and I didn't have as much attachment to him as I did the other characters. Um, I'm just gonna put him. I want to put him higher, but I also feel like he doesn't deserve it. I don't know. There wasn't too much to his character. He was sort of just like funny, you know, buff military guy, and that was about it. There was no real depth, I guess. I'm still gonna put him in B though, just because I don't know. He's voiced by the same actor who voiced Iron Bull, and I mean Iron Bull's one of my favorite characters in Dragon Age. We have the Prothean. Javik, I think his name was. Yeah, he's cool. I like that he was just like he had this massive superiority complex, which is hilarious because when he was around, obviously the Protheans were around 50,000 years ago. I mean, I don't know why I'm explaining the story. If you're watching this, then you probably know. Um, but but yeah, he just has a superiority complex to everyone because he's just seeing all these life forms that were basically the equivalent of lizards to them when they were alive. Just like walking around in spaceships now. But yeah, he's a good character. I'm actually going to put him in A tier just because of some of his lines are great, and he's a great addition to the cast, to be honest. Joker, I'm I'm set a solid A. He's great in every game. He's funny. I don't think he deserves to be an S tier, just simply because he I don't know. There's just nothing too different about him. I mean, I guess he does have the disease, and he's a great character. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does deserve to go on S. I don't know. I can't really put any reasoning behind it though, so I'm just gonna keep him in A. Kai Leng. Who the fuck was this guy? Why did they decide to add some Cyber Ninja into the third game? It made absolutely zero sense. Because Cerberus is like this whole thing. Honestly, I'm sure there's like some backstory to him somewhere which I didn't read, but like he just looks so out of place in the third game. He also was just so boring. And I just didn't care about him whatsoever, so I'm putting him in D tier. Caden, I kept Caden alive, obviously. I kept because I killed Ashley. Um, I liked that he had some complications with me being in Cerberus. I'm assuming that Ashley would probably have had the same thing. And he was not trusting in the third game, and you kind of build it up again. I like that. That was actually pretty good. He got kind of like a redemption arc. Not that he was, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's the best way to explain it, though. I'm going to put him in B. Kasumi, I loved her DLC. Even though it was short, it was great. It was like a little heist. It was a bit too simple, I have to say, but it was great. I love that kind of stuff. The Winter Palace in Dragon Age is one of my favorite sequences in the game, and this was just like that. It was hilarious and great and fun to play. I'm gonna put her in B tier though because the character wasn't really fleshed out, and I just didn't feel too much attachment. But she had some funny one-liners. Kelly, I feel like a lot of people like Kelly, but she just didn't do anything for me. She was kind of boring, but you know, she was there, and I feel like wouldn't have been the same without her. But yeah, I'm gonna put her in C because of that. Legion, I'm definitely putting him in B. I actually really liked Legion. I thought it was super interesting that you can get a Geth in your party, especially after they were like the main villain in the first game, or the main enemies that you fought. Um, and I liked his story, and especially liked his story in the third game as well, especially with the conflict with Tali, and the Quarians and things like that. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna move him to A tier. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's still just as cool. I'm moving him to A tier just because of how cool he is as a character. Liara. This is tough. I really, really like Liara, but I don't know if she's S tier. Um, no, you know what? Liara is S tier. She's in all of the games. She's not a companion in the second one, but she has that whole Shadow Broker DLC, and she becomes a Shadow Broker, and it's great. She evolves so much as a character throughout the trilogy. I love her character development. In the first game, she's just this little archaeologist. In the third game, she's this like really powerful like person who has all these like connections to all these people everywhere. But like you know, at her core, she's still an archaeologist, and she still loves researching. She's just a great character. I don't remember this Solarian. From what I can see, it was on their homeworld, I guess. I literally have no idea who this is, and yeah, I know obviously Morden. No, sorry, that's Morden. I don't know. I clicked on that guy. I have no clue who this person is. Maybe that's racist. Oh, I skipped over that guy too, but that's because I also don't know who he is. Um, yeah, this is a bit awkward that I don't know 5 people already. This chick, she's Liara's mum, and she was like the matriarch in the first game. I didn't really understand that too much, but when I got to know Liara more, it was a bit more impactful, and it was kind of cool, so I'm going to put her in C. But I don't really have anything else to say about this. Brooks, um, A. I love the Citadel DLC. It was so good. It was easily the best part of all 3 games. Her being revealed as the villain all along. Normally I don't fall for that kind of plot. Normally it's pretty predictable, but I just loved her. Like I liked how silly and awkward she was at the beginning, and I totally fell for it. I totally fell for her character, and then when it was revealed that she was the bad guy, I was like, oh shit, I fell for it. And then also like the the fact that your clone is there just adds to it so much more. And she's a great character, and I just love that. So absolutely A tier. Miranda, I don't know. I didn't care about Miranda too much. Um, I know that she's like a meme because she's hot. And there's that scene with her butt. Um, but I just feel like I kind of got where they were going with her story, you know, how she was genetically made to be like a perfect human. Um, but I couldn't get behind it. I just didn't feel like she was at all relatable because it's just like Oh no, I'm so perfect and my life is so hard because of it. Ugh, it's just like so annoying. I'm putting her in C tier because she wasn't a bad character per se, but I just didn't really, connect with her. Morden, I didn't like Morden when I first met him. I was like, who is this character? I mean, come on. But his death scene, in the third game, if you do the Paragon route and you do save the Krogans from the Genophage, it's just brilliant. And the way he sings, it's so wholesome. And even in the Citadel DLC, when you wake up the next day after the party, you can read a little data pad and you can hear his little logs and him singing songs, and it's just great. He's S more than S tier. Um, this is Morinth, I assume, Samara's daughter. I thought that concept of the Sari, I don't remember their name, but the ones that like if they brainwave with someone, they die. Sorry, no, the other person dies. And she's kind of like a serial killer basically. Um, she was cool. I don't have much to say about her. I'm just gonna put her in C tier to be honest. Um, fuck, I don't remember minor like characters like these ones. I mean, I feel like these. Oh no, this is the chick from the Omega DLC with Arya. She was cool. I'm gonna put her in C. This guy looks familiar, and I feel like oh, this is the council um guy, isn't it? Must be. I'm just gonna come back to him. Oh, this is the villain of the Omega DLC. I'm gonna put him D tier because I literally just it's so boring. Couldn't give a shit about him. But I do remember him, so I'm gonna put him on the list. Samantha Trainer. Yes, I loved her. She is A tier. The only reason she's honestly not S tier for me is that I feel like I wanted her in all of the games. I'm so sad that she was only in the third game, because she's a great character. She has amazing moments, and she's super smart. Um, and she's, constantly being like, "Hey, Commander, like, look, there's something on the thing, something to do," and it's just really cool. I like her a lot. And also her her lines and interactions with Edie are some of the funniest things in the entire game. I just love her. Samara, she's a great character. I'm gonna put her in B. I really liked her. Her story was pretty cool. Um, I have to say, I like the fact that they have sort of. She's basically like the paladin of the party. She's like, super lawful, and lawful to basically, death. Um, and but she also doesn't discriminate between, there's just basically, it's everything is black and white to her. There's no gray areas to any situation. It's either wrong or right. And I like that because it's like, obviously, that's not the case. There are gray areas to everything, but it's good to have a character have it, see it that way, adds something, a bit of diversity. Don't know, don't really know where I'm going with that anymore. Saren from the first game. I liked Saren. I felt he was a bit too typical bad guy-esque. But I feel like, it's not. These are older games now. It's a little bit more, okay. Back then it was okay to have characters like this. Nowadays it would be oversaturated. But Saren was good. I'm gonna put him in B. Um, yes, that's why basically. Steve? Cortez. I actually did play his romance. It was only in the third game. I have to say, I actually really like him. He's a good character. I liked his little moments with Shepard, especially on the shuttle. I like that he was the designated shuttle pilot, and he would like drop you off on planets and missions and stuff like that. I like that. That was kind of cool. Again with Samantha, I wish that he had been in all of the games. I wish he'd been from the start. And I feel like they could have done so much more with his character and romance had they been given more time. Just because the romance was only okay. I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was great either. It was just kind of meh. But yeah, as a character, he was good. I just think the romance wasn't very fleshed out. And that's why I think he should have had more time in the franchise. I'm gonna put him in B. I don't think he's as good as Samantha. But yeah, he's still a good character. Tali, easily S tier. I mean, straight away. I mean, fan favorite. Everyone loves Tali. So do I. I fell for her from the first game. She is so likable, so funny, and just, great character. I really kind of wished I'd romanced her instead of Steve. But there's always another game that I can play. I don't remember this chick. She looks very, very familiar. Oh, it's killing me that I don't know who this is. But yeah, alright, we'll just move on, I guess. Thane. He's great. I feel like I'm saying that about so many people now. Anyone that I don't particularly really like, but don't dislike, it's just, they're great. But I like that he died. That sounds bad, but I like that it was a set death in the third game because it made it really impactful, especially because you knew it was coming from the second game because he was like, oh, I have this disease that's going to kill me, basically. Well, it's not a disease, it's just, they need to be in arid um, climates and living with, high amounts of moisture in the air can cause their body to fail. So it's inevitable for a lot of their species, which is really sad. But I liked that. I liked that. It was very good. And when he was active in your party, he was great. I love that he was a skilled assassin, and I love the scenes where he recalled the memories and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to put Thane in A tier. Um, oh, this is the kid. Fuck. F. I'm gonna put the kid in F tier, just because fuck that ending. It still makes me mad. I hate that all of the cutscenes are exactly the same, just with different colors. I also don't think that the synthesis ending is the good ending. I definitely think that in terms of Shepard's story, controlling the Reapers is the best ending, because it means that well, first of all, the Reaper threat's now gone. Second of all, organics and synthetics can now live in harmony because the war has ended, and even there will be some struggles, I think that's the best option, because I'd spent all this time, getting the Geth and the Quarians to be allies again. So if I just picked the destroy the Reapers, that's saying, let's kill all synthetics everywhere. So that would have killed the Geth as well, and I would have just been like, well, what's the fucking point? I do know that the destroying the Reapers ending, technically Shepard does live. In Alaska, as long as your war counter is high enough, Shepard can live. But I mean, their trilogy's over. So there's no point in Shepard continuing to live. I just really liked that. The controlling ending, and also the synthesis ending is not good. I don't know why that was somehow the best quote unquote ending. Well, I don't know if that's the best ending for certain, but I mean, you can only get that ending if you play the game enough, which I feel like means that since it's harder to get and harder to achieve, it's the better ending in a way. But it's definitely not that. um, yeah, I just think that all organic synthetic life combining into one being is not a good idea. I just don't like the concept personally. I wouldn't want to be mixed with a synthetic, but that's what makes it special. Because everyone has differences, and I feel like that's the wholesome ending. But yeah, I feel like that's what they were leading. Also, did no one remember about this when they merged AI and fucking? Oh, I guess it's not the same. It's like organics have like synthetic parts to them now. Still, all right. I'm getting off track. I just fucking hate that ending. The elusive man. I don't know. He was too brooding. Like he was too like typical evil guy, and I also hated the ending. Of Mass Effect 3, which I just said. But before that scene, you talk to this guy, and if you have a high enough Paragon or high enough Renegade, you can convince him to like not be working with the Reapers. Well, he thinks that he's fighting the Reapers, but in reality, he's indoctrinated, but he can't see it. And then you can convince him that he is, and then he's like, I tried Shepard, and he just shoots himself. But like, I mean, the reason why that sucks is because that's exactly the same fucking ending as the first game. But like, basically, you can do the same thing with Saren. And I was like, when I played the first game, I'm like, that's cool. Like, I can convince him. And then he, like, shoots himself. And you still have to do it, like, a secondary boss fight. But it means you skip the first one. And it's great. It's a great option. It's great in the game. I hate that they just did the exact same thing. That is so unoriginal. I still kind of liked him, though, in a weird way. So I'm going to put him in E. Um, I think that's fair, to be honest. I think he deserves it. That's the Shadow Broker, the one that you fight. Um, honestly, I'm not even gonna fucking rank him because he was just one boss fight, and I don't even remember if he had dialogue, so I'm not even gonna include him. Um, I don't remember this Krogan. He's probably in one of the other faction clans. Sorry. So I'm just gonna leave him. Um, Rex. Rex is A tier. Rex is great. I did say I liked Rex more than I liked Grunt earlier, so he's definitely A tier. Um, he's. I don't know what else to say about him. If you played the games, you know who Rex is and why we love him. But yeah, he's just funny, and he has some great lines, especially in the Citadel DLC. I mean, I keep coming back to that, but it is just the best part of Mass Effect, really. And then Zaid, companion in the second game. Like Kasumi, he was a DLC, and they didn't really have too much dialogue. But I definitely disliked him a lot more than I liked Kasumi's. But he was still fine. I'm just gonna put him in C. I have to say, I know that they were DLC and they sort of just were added onto the game, but it really sucked that they didn't have a dialogue wheel in their rooms. Like you'd just go in and talk to them, click on them, and they would say one voice line and you would leave, rather than having a full conversation like you normally would. But yeah, that's just a minor gripe. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna rank these guys just because I don't remember them. I still don't remember them. But if you do know who they are, let me know in the comments below, and tell me how wrong I am. But yeah, this is my tier list for the Mass Effect trilogy. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.